Let's have a conversation. I'm your host, Class, and this is my co-host,
Miss Pie.
and we're here to talk to you about pretty much whatever we can come up with. And today we wanted to talk about a show we've been recently getting hooked on, and it's called, it's a Netflix original.
We're going to be talking about
Yeah. And it's a Netflix original. It's actually pretty good. It's about a character named Joe Goldberg. I think the last name is Goldberg. And we came up with a couple of things we wanted to discuss in this episode about this, so we can kind of not actually kind of give too much away for you guys, but at the same time, it gives you guys a chance to kind of get maybe intrigued by the idea of watching the show. Mm-hmm. So let's start with the idea of why we recommend it. So the first thing is it has a lot of twists. Lots of twists. It was like a mouthful.
It has a lot of twists.
Yeah, it has a lot of twists, and it's amazing because it's not one of those things where it's too much, or it's like I don't know. It's like it's believable, like plot twists, and it's what makes it more enticing about the show, and what makes the whole character and everything come more to life. To be honest, in my book, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that it's been a pretty good show so far. We haven't finished it yet.
No, we're on the second season.
Yeah, we're on the second season. Our last episode. We have not watched the last episode.
Yeah.
So,
it's exciting.
We're not going to give out any spoilers, but pretty much I love the whole plot.
Everything.
Plot twists that they added. It's been really well written so
far. Very suspenseful. Yeah,
very suspenseful.
It really does keep you on your toes, kind of, in these twists. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing why we recommend it is you kind of feel for each character. So we write these notes down, by the way, because we want to be kind of more prepared so that we'll be able to discuss things quicker without wasting our time. But yeah, you kind of feel for each of these characters. If you watch every character, not just Joe, but not even the girls or anyone else just who are involved around, but just everyone around the women and the characters. They're just also interesting,
Yeah.
I can't give too much away, but every person in that show really has they have their own stick out kind of persona. You can it's not like they're one of those characters that are just, they're in the scenes. They're just extra. They're, backup. Mm-hmm. You can tell they gave them more depth.
Yeah, so the main character, Joe Goldberg, is, it's pretty much following his conscience around.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's narrating his own story. Like what he's
that's
thinking.
awesome, by the way.
Like what he's thinking, what he's going through, what he's feeling. So you get a chance to go into his world.
Yeah. Oh, so it's
pretty interesting.
So at first we were comparing it to Dexter.
Yeah. Not to give anything away.
No, of course not.
But... it's a little bit similar. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the basics. So, spoiler alert, in case anyone's watching and they don't want to have anything spoiled. This is a little bit of a spoiler.
Yeah.
He is a sociopath. So it's kind of exploring.
Actually, you know what? We might just put a little caption here to let you guys know how long this will last, and then from the video, if you want to just fast forward, you can. And then we'll cut that caption off.
Exactly. So it's a spoiler alert. He is a sociopath. Mm-hmm. Sociopath is different from a psychopath, which is Dexter.
We'll get it twisted.
Okay. They're not the same.
Yeah.
So exploring the mind of a sociopath, pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
How he reasons and what he. How he justifies what he does, pretty much going into his world. Exactly.
And it's really okay. So on the third thing we want to talk about is love is the main objective in this thing, and man, it truly is in so many aspects in the show. The whole premise of it, it's not about hippie kind of feel. It's kind of more of a grimmer kind of love. Mm-hmm. Like a more serious direction or, feel of love. And it really gives you a different perspective once you're traveling with this particular character and getting involved in the whole story. You really have to watch it with full focus. You can't just kind of go away for a moment. If you want to pause it, you can, but just don't kind of I have moments when I watch the show and I'm just I'll just, I want to grab something. It's only going to take me like a second. But with this show, you can't just walk away and not see and just leave it going. Trust me, if you do that, please, for the love of God, don't do it on this show. Because you miss a lot. You'll miss a lot of details. You'll miss a lot of the whole feel of it. It really just kind of keeps you hooked, especially the endings. It really oof.
Yeah, just
the endings are great.
Just be prepared to be very intrigued. For those that like, a continuation. You might not want to watch the whole season in one day. Take your time. Savor every episode, just because there's another year that we still have to wait for another season. 2021.
Yeah, of course.
And we're almost done. We started like a week or 2 weeks ago. We started over 2 weeks ago. And it didn't even last us like a whole month. So just, an FYI, you might want to savor each episode.
That's how good it is.
Yeah, they are really good.
We got so hooked so hard quickly that you couldn't stop to not want to see that show at least every day, practically. And it's because, it's kind of one of those things where if we talk about love, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but when we talk about love, this has a particular premise to it where if those moments when you think to yourself, what would I do for love? What would I really do for love? And in this thing, it gives you a whole different direction of what, a literal sense of what you would do for love.
Yeah.
And it makes you also kind of question what you would do for love, maybe. That's the interesting part about it. It's not like you obviously are going to say, like, I would do exactly what that guy or whatever happens in the whole story would do. But I'm saying that at the same time, it does make you think, it's always nice to have like an interesting perspective of what to be in that character or how you would feel if you were that particular character. Anyways.
Exactly.
Not the last thing we're going to talk about, but one of the things we're going to talk about, and then we're just going to go freestyling on this. We're going to talk about makes you conflicted in scenarios. So.
Yeah, so
yes.
I think what he's talking about, you feel conflicted because in a sense, again, spoiler alert, there are several things he deals with, including murder.
Yep.
Okay, so sorry for anyone that's watching out there. I gave you a spoiler alert. It's about murder, but you're now facing a situation where you're actually rooting for him. Just because you understand, it's more of wow, I now understand why he is the way that he is.
Yep.
And it's kind of you feel more compassion towards him and pity than you straight out hating him because he's doing bad things. So that's you'll find yourself conflicted because you're why am I kind of rooting for him to, receive love or finally end up in a good relationship or something like that.
Yeah, this guy is he's quite an interesting character.
Yeah, he's damaged.
And yeah, these conflicted scenarios that happen, it makes you ponder what would you do in those type of scenarios. And I don't want to get crazy with it because I don't want to give too much away. We're just let's say we're gonna now just talk about scenarios while we already talked to you about the show, which we highly recommend you guys watch. Recommend you guys do it gently, slow. I think that TV shows are great, and I think back in the day when we used to watch shows, used to watch them weekly. You'll watch them once every week. You'd see a show every Tuesday or something like that. If there was a new show, if you're wanting to watch, what show used to come out back in the day? If you wanted to watch the new SpongeBob, let's just go crazy with that. But you wanted to watch the new SpongeBob, you'd had to wait until Friday or Thursday night for the next episode to show up. It wouldn't just show you an entire stream of episodes. Now we have that literally in the palm of our hands. Now we can watch anything we want in a matter of seconds on our phones. Portable, anywhere we want. It's incredible. But I think that sometimes when we have that opportunity, when that possession or that ability, that capability, we take somewhat of an advantage of it. And what I mean by that is that we don't quite realize that those times that we had to wait for those shows was a good thing sometimes. Don't get me wrong, commercials. But when I will say anticipation waiting, it was the better way in some cases because it made you want to. It was exciting to wait for the next day, the next week to see. It was a gathering. You got to. It was like you guys set a date for yourselves to be like, this is the day we're gonna go and make this our thing. It's our thing. Even though it's a whole bunch of other people think that's the king. That's crazy. If we're all watching this thing, we're all in this together. I'm not saying that this is where you make a big difference in everyone's life. I'm just saying that in this case, we're all kind of one when we watch a show together at a certain time. I think that's what what used to make good old fashioned TV, awesome. But with this show, that's why I recommend small dosage. Go watch it maybe once a day or once or twice in the week or something.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it because you gotta talk about the show first. You really gotta talk about it. You gotta talk to other people about it. You gotta get people obsessed about it. You gotta spread the word.
Honestly,
okay?
I was intrigued even by watching just the trailer on Netflix. So that's how I came across of it. And then I let him know, and I was like, let's watch this show together. Yeah. So I'm glad that it wasn't disappointing or anything. So for anyone that's watching it out there, enjoy. Anyone that hasn't been watching the show, I highly recommend it.
Yes. It is. It's a great show. You don't have Netflix, obviously. You have other people to talk to about that. Mm-hmm. But they give you, I think, like a 1 month free trial or a 1 week free trial. So if you get that opportunity, you haven't had a Netflix, go ahead and try to get a Netflix account. Shout out to Netflix, I guess, for this. And just get, just to try out the trial and, watch maybe the show once. And if you like the show enough and you maybe want to see other shows, get yourself and subscribe into Netflix account and say, what's up? Obviously, we're not going to get anything out of this, but we're just, we're doing it for the kindness of our heart. So, yeah, this show is interesting. And I think, it's one of those shows where it gives you a lot of interesting ideas and interesting concepts. I don't know what else I can really say about the show, to be honest. I think at this point, if we say anything else, we'd be kind of spoiling it.
Yeah.
So let's see where we can steer the direction of this conversation, where we can kind of just keep it going, where it's still kind of not, we can still kind of continue on with the conversation on something.
Exactly.
So I want to talk about actually scenarios. It's funny, in real life, how we get into these type of scenarios in life, and it's not like we intentionally get in type of scenarios. We just accidentally get in type of scenarios, mm-hmm. Where we're caught up in a situation where we didn't want to be in, or it's like imagine when you're dealing with a friend, right?
Yeah.
Who is dealing with a girl. Let's say you have a friend, I'm talking about me as a guy, and then we have another guy I'm talking to, and he's telling me him and his girl are talking in front of me, and I don't like getting involved, but out of nowhere they're fighting and they put me in the middle of that stuff. That is a scenario that you don't want to be in. That's obviously not a scenario you want to be in, because you're thinking to yourself, oh crap, now I can't really, because both of them are my friends and all that stuff, and it's like, shoot, now I got to make this decision on who I'm going to really go with. And there's also a lot of other scenarios where it's kind of, how do I put it? It's exciting, where some people feel like, like a rush. I don't know. It's like there's some certain scenarios in life I truly believe where we get a rush out of it. Mm-hmm. And it's not because we're trying to endanger ourselves in that kind of way or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's like we have these type of situations where we're interested. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, we're intrigued.
But anyways, yeah, just finishing up with those points. We live lives in certain scenarios, and this show is really interesting to watch, and we're actually really running out of time anyways. But if you guys love this, please show some love. Leave us a like, subscribe, leave a comment if you guys have any subjects you want us to get down, and we'll have a conversation about it. And as always, we appreciate you guys. Much love. Okay, catch you guys later. Peace.